right? So let me keep it back to the original way of mentioning a function, and let me literally copy paste these things. Okay, let me just copy this thing and then copy paste this one, and then let me call the subtract method here and then pass the numbers, like let's say 4 and 2. Yeah, sorry. The expected value is 2, and then everything works, correct? Let me save them. And as you can see, it runs, it evaluates 2 times. Now, the thing is, if I had any error in my previous check, that is, if I have a wrong value that needs to be outputted, like let me bring back the same error, and then if I run it once again, you could see that my first test has given an error. That is a good thing. But my second test has never run at all, because if you could remember in JavaScript, error handling is something which is somewhat important. If you didn't handle any error, then it would not go to the next line, but instead crash your application. In other words, it will literally skip your execution after this line. It will not even run anything. So how do we improve this? Like, how do we make sure that this goes away? Well, before going to that part, I want to make sure that the code is not getting repeated, because as you can see, we have the same if condition here, we have the same result here, only the values change, but the functionality remains the same, correct? Yeah, I didn't install anything. As you can see, no package.json is there, Atanu. If package.json is there, only then I can install packages, right? So how to recover from this redundant code? Well, as you could have guessed, we are going to have a util file called util.js, and then have all my modular code inside here, the way of testing. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just have a function called expect. All right, the expect will have 2 values, which is nothing but the expected value and then the original value, right? And then I am going to have a certain way of doing it. What I'll do is I'll just return a function called toB, right? You will understand these things when I am talking about jest, but I'm just mimicking how jest works manually so that you guys can understand. So I'll just create a function called expect. It understands 2 values, expected value and original value, and I'm returning an object which contains a property called toB, and this is where you will pass those values and then check whether if this particular this value should be the expected value, right? And then this is where you will check the particular condition. All right, so let me copy this and then paste here. Okay, did you understand this, people? I am simply having a function called expect. It takes in 2 arguments and then it returns an object containing a property called toB, and then it is also a function which accepts a parameter of the expected value itself, which is nothing but this. It automatically gets passed inside here, and then it accepts the condition. Now you can change it if you want to, like, not to have this redundant value. You can simply say expect this particular thing to be a statement. All right, you can simply say expect some statement and then you can pass in some original value. All right, and now here I need to change the original value to expected value, and then here we go. All right, so I can even make it fancier by just removing this or keeping this and just say statement, or I'll keep it outside so that it makes even more sense. Console log executing the test for statement. Right. So this is a function which has an object being returned, and it has the to be method. It accepts the expected value, and I'm simply running a fancy statement of what type of test I'm running, and then I'm having the logic here. Now I will import this expect method from my utils file, and then I will get the expect method. Oh, I didn't export it at all, my bad. So I have to say module.exports equal to util. Sorry, expect. Fine. I'll save this one. I'll save this as well. And now this particular redundancy is solved. How it is solved? Well, let me show you. Let me delete everything here. Then pass expect. The statement should be the sum should be, right? I'm just keeping it in an incomplete way so that anyone can understand. The sum should be the particular original value of result, and then I'm calling the to be function to be my expected value. Just past expected. Right? Did you understand this part, people? This is exactly how jest works, but we are coding it manually. We are just saying the statement here. We are passing our original result, and then we are having an object called to be, and that method is where I'm passing my expected value. All right. Show the expect function code again. Sure. This function expect accepts two values, guys. If you don't want the statement, then you can remove that as well. No problem. I'll remove this as well, and then let me save it, and let me come here, and then let me remove this as well. If this is even more convenient to understand, then let it be. I'm saying if you read it in normal English words, you would even understand it better. You're expecting the result to be something. Can you able to get it now? If you read it in an English manner, you're expecting the result to be something. So I'll come back to the code here. This expect is nothing but a function which is having a return object. Didn't get y dot to be. You will understand. You will understand. Patience is a virtue, and be patient. You are returning an object here, and then it contains a method called to be, and then you are having that particular if check inside that to be. Right? You don't have to understand this code at all, because this is something which is done by just. I'm just saying how to understand testing first, because I don't think many of them will teach the underlying logic of these things. So I want you to be even more intelligent. That's why I'm just having a function, returning an object, having a property called to be, and then it is accepting an expected value, and then this particular if condition is happening inside that particular method. All right. So did you get it? At least now? All right, fine. So now let me try to run this file and see if this works. And then expected value. Oh, fine. I made some bug. It should be expected value. And then this should be original value. I missed that out. Sorry for that. Let me save it and run it once again. And as you can see, you have the same error that we have seen before. Expected value is 12, but I received 9. Okay, cool. So now I am sure that this particular thing works. Perfect. But the same error still exists. What is that error? I was not able to perform any of my tests regarding subtract. So can we encapsulate them inside separate things? That is, can we encapsulate them inside separate containers so that these both guys don't affect? Can we encapsulate them? So how do we encapsulate them?